What's going on, Washington fans? The Washington Commanders have finished up day 7 of training camp, fully padded up for the second day today. We have a lot to talk about today. Before we get into that, though, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit that subscribe button on the road to 2,000 subscribers. We're trying to hit that before the week 1 game. Then hit that notification bell as well. So, as always, we start with the Dan Quinn press conferences. What do we take away from that? What do we hear? First off, he started by saying they activated guard Timothy McKay from the active/non-football injury list after passing his physical. That's great to hear because Tim McKay was one of the highest paid undrafted free agents, ever. Like, I've seen that ever. So, he needs to be on the field. Also, with the retiring of Nate Herbig, we need Tim McKay to step into more of a role to be a depth piece this year. He's really talented. They really do like him. So, what else did Dan Quinn say? Let me see if I can find. Dan Quinn, when asked about second-year players developing, Coleman is the one I've been impressed. What I've seen thus far. Baptiste is longer, stronger. I like what I've seen from McGee as a blitzer. It changes the math. Can a running back really block him? So that's really good to hear. Let me see if Dan said anything else. I don't believe he did. No, he didn't. So let's get into practice now that we can. Quinn said he likes Mike Sainristil's confidence and knowing when to take a shot. He added that he sees a developing leader early in camp, so he does like Mike Sainristil. Mike Sainristil has been the standout so far and really the best defensive player so far. All right, let's get to the play-by-play stuff. First off, your punt return update, as I always give you guys. Jaylin Lane, as always, Kazmir Allen, KJ Osborne, and Demetric Felton all catching kicks today. We'll start with Linnell Willingham. He says, one area where Tyler Owens really excels, blitzing. Just timed up a snap perfectly. So Tyler Owens continues to impress, right? Nothing new. Another good play from Kinlaw, this time stuffing a B-Rob run. So Kinlaw stuffed a B-Rob run early in today's practice. It seems like B-Rob always gets stuffed early on in practice. The other day was Bobby Wagner doing it to him. But then B-Rob gets back, nice B-Rob run and cut back off of left side, good push from O-line. It seems like this year, this training camp, anytime we get a good B-Rob run, it's always like the O-line did a good job of getting him loose. So that's what's going to be the changer for B-Rob this year. He's finally going to have a good O-line, and we're in pads, so this is the time to see running backs and the offensive line thrive because we are finally in pads. Good red zone period from all three offensive groups, writes Linnell Willingham. That's good to hear because it's been a little rocky so far, as you know. I mean, Sam Hartman he throws a pick every day, right? That's just the nature of it. He's learning. But good to hear all three offensive groups had a good red zone day today. Another Kinlaw play here. Linnell Willingham writes, nice rush from Kinlaw on Coleman, provided quick pressure. And then Jaden Daniels' red zone touchdown to Ertz. So it was a nice rush from Kinlaw on Coleman, provided quick pressure, but JD5 still got the ball out in the red zone, touchdown to Zach Ertz, under pressure from JD5. What else is new, man? Zach Ertz in the red zone. I remember so many plays last year in the red zone where Jaden Daniels dotted Zach Ertz up. These two are they're not new together. So it's really going to be good to see these two grow. Zach Ertz said he just wanted to be here again because Jaden Daniels. He just knows that we're going to go somewhere with Jaden Daniels, as does everyone. And then here we go. Zach Selby writes, back-to-back touchdowns from Daniels to Ertz in the red zone. So 2 touchdowns from Daniels to Ertz twice in the red zone. Wow, that's actually really impressive to hear. Really good to hear, especially because we're back in pads. So everything matters now. JP Finley said he hasn't seen Ben Sinnott today, was working with trainers the other day. Maybe a small injury there, I don't know, but I didn't hear anything about Ben Sinnott today, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. I just wanted to let you guys know Ben Sinnott apparently was not out at practice today. I mean, we normally see him, so it's definitely interesting to hear from JP Finley. He was working with the trainers yesterday too, so it's not good to hear. Linnell Willingham wrote, Noah Igbenogany sticking his face in there on a Bill run. Pretty nice thud from Noah, who has had a great camp. I agree. I think Noah Igbenogany's had a great camp so far. He's going to play as a depth piece in the slot position, and we don't want Noah Igbenogany as a starter. Okay, we want him as a depth piece. Him as a depth piece is just phenomenal. So he's had a great camp so far. He made a nice play on Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, a really nice tackle. Linnell wrote a thud, so that means it's a big hit basically from Noah Igbenogany. Linnell Willingham also wrote, starting to see Jaylin Lane get more work with the first team, just used as a decoy on a jet sweep. So that's what I expected, him to get first team reps. I think he's going to be your starting slot wide receiver. I don't think Luke McCaffrey makes his way over Jaylin Lane. I just don't. I'm not high on Luke McCaffrey, guys. In case you haven't realized that, I'm sorry. I'll when I see it on Sundays, that's when I'll start to believe, right? But I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid until I see something from Luke McCaffrey. I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid, though, from Jaylin Lane because he looks really good so far, and he's been getting reps with the ones, and he's making plays every single day. So he got more work with the first team today. And right on cue, just got behind the defense for a big touchdown from Hartman. Nice job in pass pro from Connerly on Farrell. Nice update from Connerly. We're in pads today, so we should hear a lot of good updates from Connerly that he can finally start to do stuff, today. Because if you are not in pads as an offensive lineman, you can't do anything. It's harder to grab on guys and stuff. So, it was a big touchdown from Hartman on a play. Linnell Willingham also wrote, nice run stuff from... before I get to this, make sure you guys realize that none of these clips in this video are mine. All right, let's continue on. Nice run stuff from Jalen Holmes. Another interesting D lineman, can play multiple spots. Jalen Holmes, he came in clutch last year. He's a good depth piece. If he makes this roster, I'm not going to be surprised because he's a great depth piece. He's also able to rush really, really well. He came in big last year. He's had experience with other NFL teams as well. So he's an interesting D lineman. He can play multiple spots. I definitely agree with that. I think Jalen Holmes can be a guy that's a difference maker on this roster. I'd love to see what he can do this year. I hope he makes the roster too, because he was good last year. He did show up last year. Linnell Willingham wrote, Bill Merritt continuing to make plays. Had my doubts, but his speed is real. No wasted movement. It's good to hear Linnell Willingham saying this because he basically hates on every player on this team. I'm not going to lie. But Bill Merritt continuing to just make plays. Had my doubts, but his speed is real. That's what I've heard from everyone. I had Rio on the show yesterday. He said he saw it out there. His speed was real. His vicious cuts. They've showed videos on the team website. I've seen his vicious cuts. I've seen his speed. It looks real. So I'm really excited for JCM. This isn't just your normal 7th round pick. This is a guy that can get it done. Okay. He might, be starting by week 10, right? But he just continues to make plays. And then JP Finley writes, Bill Merritt with an impressive run off of a tackle, then another run opposite side, and Noah Igbenogany comes downhill. Real game that would have been real collision. Bill Merritt continuing to make plays, run off of a tackle, and then here's the play that I talked about earlier with Noah Igbenogany coming downhill. They would have collided, and it would have been a hard hit from Noah but they're not going to go full on. We're not going to, get injuries right now. That you don't want that. So, they probably just stop the play after they wrap them up or put your arms around someone. Linnell Willingham wrote, offense having one of their better starts of camp. Run game getting push. They look crisp. All three groups. That's one of the things I've really heard today is the run game looked really good today, and all three groups really looked good today. The first team, the second team, and the third team looked really good in red zone drills and all around today. Linnell Willingham also wrote, Johnny Newton just had a nice run stuff. Finally, we hear something from Johnny Newton. I've been waiting to hear from Johnny Newton, and here we go. We're hearing from him now. He had a nice run stuff today. And then Dula Vision wrote, JCM has amazing vision, broke a 20-yard run. I just continue to hear that JCM, Bill, whatever you want to call him, continues to make plays. I just continue to hear it. I'm going to get excited about him. Grant Paulson wrote, Jaylin Lane just got loose in the secondary for a long catch and run touchdown from Sam Hartman in 11-on-11 work. He has made plays consistently throughout camp. The rookie from Virginia Tech is one to watch going into the preseason. I cannot wait to watch Jaylin Lane in the preseason. I can't. This is just going to be so fun to watch these rookies. I mean, JCM and Jaylin Lane look like they were the stars of the rookie class today, but we know what Trey Amos has been. Trey Amos has been a dog so far, so this rookie class looks really good, man. Bill just ripped off another big run off of the left side, so Linnell Willingham continues to report on Bill. He just ripped off another big run off of the left side. I don't know what to think, man, besides this dude's going to be good. Gonna have to wait till we get into preseason, till we get into the joint practices next week. I mean, that's when it's really going to come out if he's going to be a good player in this league. Linnell Willingham wrote, probably the most run looks we've seen. Had a fair amount in last padded practice. This time they are getting real movement. Not the case last padded session. Because when you only have a few padded practices that you can run, they're limited in the NFL. You have to get as many, run plays going with the pads on, because that's when you can really see who's going to stand out and do good. And then Linnell Willingham wrote, really nice run from Searod on what would have been a huge gain. Run game looks good here this AM. I've talked about it. The run game looked really good this morning. Searod getting his name in the bucket. I have not heard anything from Searod so far, so good to see that he had a huge gain today. Linnell Willingham wrote, Dom Hampton and Kane Medrano getting a lot of work with the second team D. That competition at linebacker is real. Dude, I can't even imagine what this linebacker room is going to look like in 2 years. I mean, they are going to be demons. Dom Hampton, Jordan McGee, Kane Medrano. I mean, it's going to be. And then you're going to have Frankie Louvu around in 2 years, I assume. So, boy, this is going to be good. I mean, this linebacker room is already getting spicy right now. It's going to be good in a few years. JP Finley wrote, full pads and definitely the most heavy run practice so far. Run game looks good. That's what we want to hear, man, because, again, when you barely have any, padded practices, you have to get as many run plays in as possible. We can pass without pads. Jaden Daniels can throw a football without pads. They can throw to receivers without pads. You cannot run and make contact without pads. So they have to get it in today. Linnell Willingham wrote, more first-team reps for Tyler Owens. Again, this is probably one of the best guys on the defense so far. He's really impressing. Eager to see him in the preseason. Need to see him tackle. Other than that, he's looked really good. Ball didn't go to him, but nice pivot route from Jaylin Lane on Mikey. He's stacking days. Again, another Jaylin Lane update. He looks really good right now, okay? Nice job by Quan Martin deflecting a JD5 pass at the line of scrimmage. Quan Martin, again, there's another guy, safety. He's probably been the second best guy behind Mike Samerstow. He's looked really good so far. He had a nice pass breakup on JD5 today at the line of scrimmage. Linnell Willingham wrote, another Ertz red zone catch. He killed it there last year. Today, she called Ertz Day. He's been busy. Ertz had a really good day today. Ertz gets after it today. He had a really good day. JD5 continues to throw him the football. Him and JD5 on the red zone, there's something about that, man. Linnell Willingham wrote, Luke, wide open drop in the flat. Gotta have that. He's had it hit the turf a good bit this camp. So that's interesting, guys. You want to listen to Linnell here. He's out there at every practice. Luke McCaffrey's had a few drops this training camp, and he just had another one today. You got to have that. Deebo wide open in the flat. No eye, only man to beat. Touchdown. Deebo Samuel had a really good day today, man. He continues to impress. I love what I'm seeing from Deebo Samuel. Without Terry McLaurin, he should look like this, and he is. He's really impressing. Linnell Willingham wrote, I don't know how much opportunity he'll get early, but Jonathan Jones is just as solid as they come. Good camp from him. We haven't heard anything from Jonathan Jones so far, so good update from him. He's just going to be a backup on this team, a nickel corner to play behind Mike Samerstow and teach Mike Samerstow. Again, guys, Jonathan Jones is one of the guys that's been doing it for a long time with the Patriots. He's been to Super Bowls. He's won Super Bowls, so really good to hear. Linnell Willingham wrote, KJ Osborne, touchdown, Quan Martin in coverage, Lil fade route, good throw from Hartman. Interesting that Quan Martin got beat. He hasn't got beat much this offseason, but KJ Osborne, I was looking for his name, and KJ Osborne has shown up quite a bit. You know, they're fighting for that 6th wide receiver spot on the roster. It's interesting to hear the guys that are putting their name in the basket today, because I didn't hear anything from Chris Moore. I didn't hear anything from Ja'Cory Brooks. KJ Osborne is one of those guys who's stacking days and continues to show up. Linnell Willingham wrote, Jaylin Lane, touchdown from Hartman. Good, just stretching out for it. Man, wow. He was all over the field today. Jaylin Lane looks really, really good today. Here, more on Jaylin Lane. Really nice patience on route from Jaylin Lane. He just made another nice play in short space. Nice day for him. Joint practice going to be big for him. Man, I cannot wait to see what Jaylin Lane has in store for us this year. He looks really good. And I was talking to Rio yesterday, like I said. Rio said there's guys that he's seen on the field that have speed on the television, but they don't have speed on the actual field. Jaylin Lane has speed on the actual field. You can see it in person. So I cannot wait. This is like the fastest guy we've seen in a long time. He's going to get active in the slot wide receiver position, too. He's not just going to be a kick returner. Linnell Willingham wrote, nice rush from Jacob Martin on Andrew Wiley. Flushed out Jaden. Dead play. Great to hear. Like if we didn't have pads on, it wouldn't have been a dead play. But since we have pads on, it's a dead play. Linnell Willingham wrote, Deebo touchdown on nice ball from Jaden on a fade route. Jacob Martin once again with really good rush on that play. Good to hear from Jacob Martin. Jaden and Deebo have had nice connection in camp. Without Terry, again, that's what we expect. But Deebo Samuel had himself a day today. He continues to impress, and Jaylin Lane continues to impress. The offense got really back on track today. So the offense looked really good today. That was really good to hear. I'm just glad that they're kind of back after a few days of struggling. Again, Jaden Daniels hasn't struggled, but the whole offense, they struggle. As we always do, we do Dula Vision on X, his observations. I always read them out to you guys. He said, observation 731, Lane is going to be a star. If he plays like he did today, his speed and separation was incredible. My vote for most underrated performer at camp is probably Noah Igbenogany. Great to hear. Physical and has been bringing a lot of energy. D-line is still winning the trenches battle so far. Wow. I mean, Jaylin Lane, he's going to be a star. He's going to be a star. He looks really good. That's probably going to be the title of this video, something with Jaylin Lane. And Noah Igbenogany, he's having a solid camp, man. I'm glad they brought him back to see what he can do. Really good to hear from him. And then he said he's been physical and been bringing a lot of energy. That's good to hear. And the D-line is still winning the trenches battle so far. I mean, Josh Connerly hasn't looked great so far, but he's 21 years old. I mean, he's got a baby face, So he's going to take time to grow into this. I'm not going to sit here and bash him. I don't really care, man. I know Josh Connerly's going to win the starting job. He'll be out there, as soon as possible. And we do have Laramie Tunsil. So this O-line will be fine, right? They'll grow into, to be really good this season, I do believe. Let's check in to see if Jaden Daniels said anything. I'm not sure. I know Jaden Daniels was at the podium, but I don't know if he said anything. So let's see if I can find anything from JP Finley here. No, not much from Jaden Daniels today. He was supposed to speak after practice, but I don't hear anything. We have football back tonight. Football is back tonight. It's going to be the Chargers and the Lions. I cannot wait to watch some football tonight, man. You guys sit back and relax on your TV and watch some good football tonight. Well, I shouldn't say good football tonight. There's a football flying and there's uniforms on the field. That's all that matters tonight. All right, that's all I got for today, though. That was Commanders Training Camp 731. We're getting close to these joint practices, man. We're getting close to where this really begins. I hope a Terry McLaurin extension can get done soon because we're getting close to, the start of the season. And these two sides are still far apart. I've said it the past few days. Come together on a $30 million agreement. both sides are being really stubborn. Both sides are being stubborn. Adam Peters doesn't want to pay Terry McLaurin as much as he should get, and Terry McLaurin wants way too much more than what he should want. So, and that could be his agent. Buddy Baker is looking like a camp scout out there, a camp counselor out there. He looks bad. So, we'll see. But I hope this extension can get done soon. And the offense has had their struggles, but today they had a good day. They got back on track. We need Terry out there, though, man. So, that's all I got for today. You guys have a great one. Hail to the Washington Commanders, as always. Peace.